The reason I'm here today with Beautranga is because we're loading our ship for St Vincent and the Grenadines. Together with our normal port call rotation of Guyana, Suriname and Trinidad, the island of St Vincent and the Grenadines was hit by a catastrophic Category 4-5 hurricane just a few weeks ago. So after a very quick call with Benny Kirchhoff, the line manager for Europe Caribbean line, decision was made, we need to go immediately as fast as we can to St Vincent and the Grenadines. Beautranga was the first vessel we could get into schedule. We could move things around so we could add that additional port call, enabling us to get a message out through the diaspora, through the British High Commission in St Vincent and through the St Vincent High Commission in the UK, that we would ship cargo free of charge for the local people in St Vincent and the Grenadines, aid cargo in order to help them and their families. So we're here today. We've been very lucky that major companies have come to our aid and come to our support. Stewart Group from Norfolk donated generators. Lincolnshire Static Caravans donated 5 caravans. We've put in 5 containers. And so we're now going to get down to St Vincent and the Grenadines as fast as we can with our equipment so that we can actually start to rebuild the island economies that we love so much. So the island of Union Island was 98% destroyed. Palm Island, almost the same. Kanawan was fared a little bit better. Carriacou, utterly devastated. So thankfully, the island of St Vincent, which is the hub for St Vincent and the Grenadines, fared a little better. So thankfully, they were up quite quickly, enabling them to move ships and aid and equipment into the other Grenadine islands. What's going on down there right now? People are mobilising. Obviously, the aid agencies going straight away. They bring immediate aid, but it's the what next. So it's important we are there now to bring in excavators, dump trucks, equipment to rebuild the islands, mobile homes. And we've been very lucky that we're going to send one of these mobile homes down to Union to be used as a forward base by the United Nations, the World Food Programme and NEMO, who are on the ground, giving people a place where they can go and start to rebuild their economy. So Kestrel has been in the Caribbean for over 40 years, working in the Caribbean communities, and over that time we've developed what's a very, very sophisticated hurricane plan. The minute we heard the hurricane had hit, my daughter Rebecca moved to Barbados to be close to the market so that she could actually do some good. There's no point in being on the ground. We're not an aid agency. We need to be as close as we can so we can work with the aid agencies, the government and the local people to support them. My wife and I moved to Miami. We were able then to connect with the people down there. What do you immediately need? What we immediately needed was Starlink satellite communications and generators. So together with Virgin Atlantic, we were able to fly 4 generators immediately on Sunday night to get our office up and running, get a Starlink down, and then we were able to procure and send down 50 Starlinks so that the government can start to rebuild and find out what's going on down there with boots on the ground. They've told us that it's important that we can deliver cargo as fast as we can that's going to be useful for them to rebuild. So the things that we focused ourselves on are, let's get some accommodation down there, let's get some generators so we can get some power, let's get some Starlink satellites so that we can start to communicate and find out what we need for the next steps. And the next steps are building materials, lumber, roof sheeting, insulation equipment, electrical goods. And so having some of these mobile homes go down to the islands enables us to actually put people on the ground who can help us rebuild. So on board this ship we've got aid for local diaspora, barrels of foodstuffs, medical equipment, everything from toiletries, which we've shipped free of charge. On top of that, we've then got the generators, power equipment, we've got excavators, machinery, a stone crusher, some flat-packed buildings, would you believe, which have been stacked into containers. So there's a real myriad, and we've tried to become, as quickly as we could, the go-to resource. So this won't be our only ship. We intend to go back again in September once we've got this on the ground to find out what the next stage is. What do you need right now? So Kingstown port, where we normally caught, has been quite badly damaged. So we're going to go to a port around the corner called Camden Park. From there, we're going to take the cargo off the ship and with our trucks and our trailers, move the cargo round to Kingstown Port to the ferry berth, and then we'll put it on a charter ship all the way down to Union Island, and then put our trucks on board so that we can deliver the aid to the local people that need it right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Beautranga means strong, so it's a great word, you know, to name a ship that's going to go down and provide such help and assistance. We've got some large excavators going down here. We're capable of lifting 80 tons with this ship, so with the big generators weighing 30, 40 tons, which are incapable of running entire towns. And the Port of Hull is unique. We have skills here that we haven't got anywhere else. We've got people here that can lift cargo conventionally the way it was done before containers. And it's very difficult to move a mobile home, an excavator that weighs 20 or 30 tons, a generator the same, inside a container. So enabling us to come to Hull, which is a great gateway port. We come here now every 14 days, and we anticipate bringing the ship now every 8 days as the volumes grow. I went through Hurricane Floyd in 1997. It was a Category 4 storm, 5 miles an hour, short of being classified as a Category 5. I never, ever, ever want to go through one of those again. And I felt that it would have been poignant for our island manager and his family to leave, so that when immediately the hurricane was over, we could get him back on the ground, ready to help. But he insisted on staying. He told me that was probably one of the most stupid decisions of his life. Sitting there in the middle of the night with his wife and children in his arms, while the roof of the house was going up and down, he thought he was going to lose his roof at any moment. His neighbours did lose their roofs. The houses were badly devastated. The island of Union Island is 98% destroyed. That means only 2% of the houses are in any way habitable. That is what a Category 4, Category 5 storm does. It is absolutely devastating. To see sand moving like a sand blaster, taking the bark off a tree, removing the leaves from the trees and killing every piece of vegetation, that is something that is the most scary thing I think I've ever seen in my life. So immediately the hurricane was over and I was able to establish communications with Marlon Gibson, our island manager. I then made the next call, as I said, to Benny Kirchhoff, the trade manager for Europe Caribbean Line in Holland. And on a 5-minute conversation over the phone, one of those great things that Richard Branson always said, screw it, let's do it. We knew it was the right thing to do, so screw it, let's do it. And we put our hands in our pockets for £100,000 immediately to get the ship to go down to St Vincent and pay the costs, minimising the impact for the people as best we can. And Stewart Group from Attleborough in Norfolk, absolutely phenomenal. I called them, they responded immediately, donated generators which have gone on board, not just a small generator to run a house, generators capable of running entire villages. That's been incredible. A chance meeting with Lincolnshire Static Caravans. You know, I went to him and said, look, we want to buy a couple of homes to put staff in so that we can actually start the rebuild process. He immediately said, I'll deliver them for free and I will donate one too. And the list goes on. From the person who works for the NHS, who put in £50 to buy some food for somebody down in St Vincent and the Grenadines, to these big companies that have supported it. And the mission goes on. We're going to go again. So if you're out there and you think you can help, if you've got equipment sitting in your yard, if you've got water that's coming up towards its end of shelf, if you've got food that's coming up towards the end of shelf life, and you feel that you can help us, please get in touch, because we're going again to take our ship back to St Vincent and the Grenadines to help the people that have been so badly affected.